Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Maps and Graps. I'm super excited. We have Charlie back on the show, um,
Yes.
the probably the most frequent guest on
Mm-hmm.
the podcast so far, and it's Charlie's early birthday.
It
Um,
sure is.
we're a day away, and so everybody pull up, say happy birthday to Chuck.
Yeah.
Um, and it's time to get into some graps. There's been lots of stuff happening. And the most, I would say, most pressing of those is that Royal Quest just happened.
Yes.
Charlie, you were there,
I was.
and let's talk about it. There was a lot of good stuff on this card. I will say I'm jealous of the people who got to go in person. Specific, obviously, because it was a good show, but like secondly,
Mm-hmm.
because the production quality of New Japan outside of Japan is ass.
Yeah.
And
It's
I
really bad.
love Japan. I love New Japan. I think like they've had some really great shows this year, both in the U.S. and the U.K. But like the production quality of it all is just not the best.
Nah.
And I do want to know what was the rationale behind like putting it on the Rev Pro streaming service. Like,
Um, I don't actually know. I don't know why they didn't stream it on New Japan. I don't know. They didn't stream it on New Japan yet last year either. I don't know whether this year it's because of like they're redoing the website soon and they're just trying to minimize, or they just don't want to fly like all their crew out, so they use the Rev Pro crew, and they don't have the right systems. I don't know. It's weird that they don't stream Royal Quest live, but
it is
it was
weird.
a great time.
Like it is weird, but it was a great show, and I think like I felt that way about like New Japan shows all year, because Resurgence was like an awesome pay per view, and like Battle in the Valley was an awesome show.
Hmm.
Um, but it's just like the production quality is like so crap. It's hard to
Yeah.
you get into it sometimes, but if you stuck with it, it was a really, really, really great show. Had a great main event, great card, which kicked off with the return match of Taiji Ishimori,
Hmm.
up against Robbie X. For those of you who aren't familiar with British wrestling, he is the king of the cruiserweights. And I feel like this was a perfect match to get like
Yeah.
everything started.
Yeah, it really set the tone of the show. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed this match a lot more than I thought I would, because I haven't seen Taiji Ishimori wrestle. Obviously, we haven't seen him wrestle since
Best of Super Juniors.
the Best of the Super Juniors. Yeah, and like I've never seen him wrestle live, so this was a new experience for
Mhm.
me. But I enjoyed this a hell of a lot. They had great chemistry, and it was just a super fun match to open the show.
I really like Taiji Ishimori. I
Same.
felt like he had a really great run this year at the Best of Super Juniors before he got injured. And it's really good to see him back, but also it's really cool to see like Robbie X get this opportunity because I feel like he's
Yeah,
had some really great matches this year, with
yeah,
some
he
really
has.
high profile people, and he's delivered on just about all of them. And so I
Yeah.
really enjoyed that. Up next, we had one of your favorites, El Desperado versus
Yes,
Trent Seven.
SB. Oh,
We can't
stop.
have it all. We can't
We
have.
can't have it all. We really can't. Because there was moments in this match I was just like, if they put Trent Seven over him, I'm gonna be so upset.
I was like, Charlie is going to literally burn this place down. So I hope
Hmm.
everybody really moves accordingly. Yeah, I feel like we got a El Desperado singles match, and it's like, yay. But
Hmm.
at what cost? Because there's Trent
Oh
Seven.
god, yeah.
Cost.
I I missed Trent Seven's entrance because I went to the bathroom like straight after the first match, and I heard his music. So I literally like was sprinting to get back to my seat for Destiny's entrance, and the people around me were just like, "You wanted to get back for Trent Seven?" I was just like, "No, I wanted
No,
to get back for El Desperado."
let's get this really clear, really fast.
Yeah.
Um, After that, we had Yoda Suji versus Luke Jacobs, and I would like to say this was very inspired booking because when the card for Royal Quest was first announced, I'm gonna be honest. Some of it I was excited for, and some of it I was like, because it was like some matches that we've seen
Hmm.
before, and it was like a lot of, I guess, the dream matches that I think people were expecting just weren't on the card. Um, but this one was one that immediately caught my eye because I think that these two are the future of both of their like respective like styles of wrestling. And I think this is going to be a really great match to like hopefully be able to compare in the future to what they are capable of doing. Like I can easily see these two facing off like from 5 years from now and being 10 times better than they already are.
Yeah. I liked the match. I thought it under-delivered a little bit. I don't know whether my expectations were just really high for this, but I was a little bit underwhelmed, but I think that they can still, like, if they have a rematch in the future, it will be great. And I thought that, like, I still enjoyed the match. It just wasn't quite what I was expecting.
Yeah, I will say, I think they didn't get as much time as I expected. And then also, like I said, I think that this is one of those matches that are, it's, you know, it exists right now to like set up for the future because, you know, I feel like 5 years from now, these two are going to be like way bigger stars than they are right now. Yeah. And like when they finally do have that rematch, like it's going to be like a 5-star classic. So, you know, it wasn't a 5 or even 4-star match by any means, but I definitely think like it was a really good precursor for the future. And like if you're not familiar with like British wrestling, Luke Jacobs is the future. Like Luke Jacobs,
he's like really come up this year. Like he's really been making a name for himself.
He had an incredible match with Tomohiro Ishii earlier this summer at the Rev Pro 11th anniversary show, which was the night before All In, and it ended up stealing the show, which I wasn't expecting. But it stole the show on a very, very, very stacked card. And honestly, I think it was the best match of that entire weekend, to be quite honest. But he's definitely one to watch. Somebody said Luke Jacobs in a G1 is going to be fire. Listen, if Luke Jacobs is in the G1 next year, maybe I will be more receptive to having that many people in the G1. Like if you're going to stack with people like that, like fine. But if you're just going to stack with like Chase Owens and company, please keep it.
God,
please keep it. Next we had the Bullet Club War Dogs, Clark Connors and Drilla Maloney, the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, defending against Cameron Kai and Leon Slater. Now, this one I was super excited for.
Yeah.
Leon Slater is like freaking awesome. He's been on this show before. He's taken over the world. Cameron Kai is even younger than him and is also like an incredible talent. Yeah. Obviously, there's some history there with Leon and Dan Maloney. Like they even like had a match at that 11th anniversary show. Yes. This was great.
Yeah. Before I get into like the actual match, did you see the video I posted on my Instagram story of Dan Maloney? It was very funny.
Which one?
There was like just before the match started, like when they were making their entrances, where I was sat, there was 2 empty seats in front of me, and then like the first row. And he like came up onto the barrier, was chatting shit to the guy behind me. So it looked like he was talking directly to me, but he was just like, "Fuck you, fat boy." I was just like, "Oh my god,
what you saying fuck me for?" Like,
yeah. Oh, the video is so funny. I'll send it to you after the stream. It's so funny.
Oh my gosh,
this match was so fun. I loved it. I had a great time with it.
I will say, I don't know if this is an award yet. I'm not sure if it exists, but I think that if there is a breakout tag team of the year award, Clark Connors and Dan Maloney deserve it.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been killing them.
Every single time that they have teamed up, they teamed up for the first time at, what was that, Strong Independence Day? That was like their first official match. And they have delivered every single time and had some of the strongest matches on the card. And honestly, the way that they're heading, they are having possibly a better reign with those junior tag belts than Catch 22 did. And they did a lot to like revive that scene. And so, no, these guys have been absolutely awesome. They have incredible chemistry. They feed off of each other. And honestly, they're the only people in Bullet Club right now who actually have gold anymore.
Yes.
And I wonder if that's going to become a problem soon. We can get into that a little bit later. David Finlay has been eating a lot of pins recently.
Stop. I had to witness it.
And so Yeah, we can get into that part a little later. Actually, well, later is now. My fault. Um, Next, we had a six-man tag team match: Gorillas of Destiny, El Phantasmo, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa versus Bullet Club, Alex Coughlin, David Finley, and Gabe Kidd. And David Finley took the pin here,
From
which I was
Tangaloa.
not from Tongaloa, which I was not expecting at all. Um,
That
go ahead.
was
David
David
Finley
Finley waiting for the Regal call. You know, honestly, nothing would shock me.
at this point.
But
um,
yeah, this was I enjoyed the vibes. This was very much a vibes match. It was never gonna be a 5-star classic. I love El Phantasmo. I love Bullet Club, War Dogs, some of them. Tamatonga's great. Tangaloa was also there and got the fucking pin, so
and he has a match title. He has a big match coming up. Also, I would say that what is it? Tonga Loa, not Tonga Loa. I think this match was really like highlighted by the stars on both sides, and so you have El Phantasmo being El Phantasmo, like just being just fucking cool, and then on the other side you have Gabe Kidd. I'm a madman, bro. I'm a madman. He's so entertaining, and I feel like those two just kind of like carry the match. But I will say right now, the way that things are headed, I think that David Finley is looking towards being probably the shortest tenure as a Bullet Club leader because there's just so much talent there. It's really hard to really justify him being the leader right now. Like, if anybody is going to take over, I'd say, give the reins to Gabe Kidd. Like, I don't know.
I reckon, yeah. I think as early as Wrestle Kingdom, man, they could be making a change.
That means it would be almost a year too. So
yeah.
Next we had Ren Narita and Shota Umino versus the United Empire, which is Francesco Akira and Great Okan. This match happened. It was good. I will say, I think what this was really meant to do is to really, and I think I tweeted this like while it was going on, but I feel like this was really more so a test to see how Ren and Shota do before World Tag League. And I think that as a test, I think it succeeded. I think that they should do it. I'm almost positive that they're about to pull the trigger on this. And so Gabe Kidd is future IWGP World Champion material for me. Somebody sent a chat. I completely agree.
Sure is.
I completely agree. And so, yeah, I think that this was just testing Ren and Shota. And I think that they have, good chemistry. And I think that World Tag League will really help both of them because I think they both need to stand out in some ways.
Yeah. Because they need to blend more as a team. Not that they're not blending as a team, but like this like little remix music or whatever they've got going on and them coming out with different entrances. It's like, bro, what are we doing?
They
synergy. Come on.
This is MJF and Adam Cole's fault. That is exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. Like people said, oh, so this is what you do now? Like, oh no, everybody should not mix their music.
God, no, I hate it.
Yeah, everybody should not mix their music. And also, like, there's just a lot going on. Shota wants to come through the crowd. Ring comes out there. Like, there's just a lot going on. And I think that they're both, it's one thing like when you're a more experienced wrestler or you're just a more, experience isn't the word, a more established wrestler. I feel like you can get away with doing more things like that. But both of them, you got to think that they're relatively just new post-excursion. They still kind of need to establish themselves. And so, like, they aren't like solidified individually enough to like mix together. Like they need something new, like something fresh. Yeah. And so hopefully World Tag League will be the debut of that. Like we've typically seen during New Japan tournaments, people typically use tournaments as their fresh start to re-debut parts of their character, re-debuts parts of their look. We saw it with Hanare, revealing like the new tribal markings on his face for, the G1. So, hey, we'll see what happens there. Up next was a trios match. There was Eddie Kingston, Hiroshi Tanahashi. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, I'm skipping. There was a tag match. Bushi and Tetsuya Naito versus Doki and Sonata. This wasn't great.
It happened. I stayed for the Naito entrance and then I went for a cigarette. Sorry, Sonata. I had to find a break somewhere, and I knew the trios match was up next. So I was like, I'm not risking missing Eddie's entrance, and then they did fucking play Eddie's music anyways, which I'm still salty about. But yeah, no, this match happened. I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to it. I'm sure some people had fun.
You know, and also, I think you've tweeted this before, but like, I'm not a Bushi enjoyer.
No,
I think
I don't
Bushi
enjoy
has
Bushi.
a cool look. I think Bushi has like a really cool look, cool vibe, like stuff like that. But I can't quite say that the matches move me.
Mm-hmm.
I would be lying if I said Bushi matches move me. Like, as far as like, if I ranked LIJ members from the ones I'm most excited about to ones I'm least excited about, it's really hard for me to rank like possibly like most of them because I like them so much. But Bushi is like an automatic, like
he's just automatically blast, yeah. And I feel a bit bad about it, but every group's got one.
And you know, it's just like I feel like LIJ is possibly like one of the most charismatic factions of all time. Like you have Naito, you have Hiromu, you have like Yota Tsuji, you have Titan who comes in every moon, like you have like Shingo, you have like literally some of the most charismatic, exciting wrestlers, and then there's Bushi.
That's Bushi.
Like, you know, very cool look, but we're, you know, this is New Japan. It's not just we're not all just vibes here. So
it did make me laugh so much that he misted Sonata after the match.
Only enjoyable Bushi is when he's teaming with Titan. Well, you know what? He has an opportunity this weekend, and we're going to get to that. Bushi only wrestles good in All Japan appearances. I need to actually see that. I've never seen him wrestle in All Japan.
I need to seek that out.
I'll have to see that. But moving on, now we're getting to the trios match. We had Eddie Kingston, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Michael Oku with Amira versus United Empire, Hanare, Jeff Cobb, and TJP. This was really good. I feel like this was more so like this is a pop. Everybody get your shit in. It was really cool to see Eddie.
Oh my god. I don't know how well the reaction for Eddie translated on stream, but like he couldn't do anything without people cheering for him. It was nuts in the building. I think as much as I did enjoy the vibes of this match, even though it was like fairly short, I feel.
Yeah.
I think they made a massive mistake not putting Eddie in a singles match. I get it's probably to protect him and to protect Tanahashi because they're both pretty beat up still, bless them. But man, the copper box was fucking rocking when Eddie came out. It was. I've been in Wembley Stadium when Kenny Omega come out, and like the reactions, they felt the same. Like I don't know, it was crazy.
I think that is one thing I've learned this year is I think that we drastically underestimate how much certain markets of wrestling are literally dying to see their favorite wrestlers. And like that UK market is absolutely rabid. Like absolutely rabid. For like the AEW guys, like especially for guys like Eddie, like people want him to see him. Like that's who drives ticket sales. Like that's who people will literally come to see. And so like
with Eddie especially, like he made a real big name for himself in the UK as well, like doing the indies over here, and people really got behind him, especially after that. I think it was the promo he cut in Progress. It was just like, I'm done making stars. Like,
he did that in Progress.
That's such an iconic promo for him, and people love Eddie so much, like everywhere. And I don't know, it was pretty special to be part of that atmosphere for him to be out there.
Yeah, teaming with Mike Oku and Tanahashi, like if you were going to put him in a 6-man, that was pretty cool. And Amira was so funny. I will say, like, shout out to her. She's so funny. Like, she is so funny trying to run away with Tanahashi. Like, the post-match comments is just like, 46-year-old Hiroshi Tanahashi is still Mr. Still Your Girl. Like, I love that. Like, I literally love that. She always makes the best out of like all of her appearances as well. And after that, whoa, we had Ishii versus Shingo Takagi.
Oh my god, I still haven't recovered.
I actually so they just put the high quality version up on New Japan World like a few days ago. So I actually before this, like I've been rewatching the entire show, and I got to every single match. The only one that I haven't gotten to rewatch yet is the main event. But I rewatched that Ishii versus Shingo match. I'm like, bro. I tweeted right after that. I'm like, Shingo Takagi is 40 years old. Like, I don't even care about all the young guys of these guys. While he can still go, push him to the moon.
Yeah. Belt him up, man. Like, I know we're doing this whole LIJ story with Naito, but bro, put that fucking belt on Shingo. I don't care.
I feel like, Naito versus Shingo would have hit way better than Naito versus Sonata. I'm sorry. Like, Shingo just, and Ishii, like, and honestly, he thrives in the UK. Like, he's a whole different animal.
He's just adopted here. I don't know. He's just one of those wrestlers that we've adopted. Like,
I think that honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if he had his retirement match in the UK. Like, because even though I wasn't physically there for this match, like I was physically there for the Ishii versus Jacobs match. And like, he just comes alive in the UK. Like, obviously he's great in Japan. Obviously he's great whenever he wrestles in America. He's just great. But it's just like he's a whole different demon out here.
Yeah.
Like, it's absolutely insane. Somebody said Ishii versus Shingo turned the copper box into pure heaven. Like,
bro,
people were up.
They had 3 standing ovations during this match.
Yeah.
The main event didn't get that many. The main event got 1 when it ended. Oh, this match was fucking insane. Like, shoot headbutts, the fucking lariats, the pumping bomber. Oh my god, it was so loud in there. The impact was fucking nuts.
That lariat was so loud.
Yeah.
I haven't heard a lariat sound like that in a very long time.
They wrestled for like what, 25 minutes, and they kept the crowd up the entire match as well.
I honestly got pissed off a little bit that when Tama Tonga came out afterwards, and no offense to him, but like, no offense to him. I think Tama Tonga is great, but it's more so of the fact of just like, you just saw this shit, and he's challenging for the never openweight championship.
It's like the crowd was like chanting shit at Tama Tonga, just like, and they were just like, Shingo's gonna kill you, and he was just like, what?
Dude, I came out here, I'm trying to offer him a title match. Everybody's like, shut up! Like,
no one wanted to hear from Tama Tonga after that. Like, I don't know.
Somebody said Shingo and Ishii made me believe life was worth living a real. That's so real. That is so
Oh my god. I think I tweeted 4 times in the space of 30 seconds after the match ended because I was going nuts.
Not too much of my bestie talk. Listen,
I like Tama Tonga, but it was just like,
be honest, Shingo just shouldn't be challenging for that never openweight title.
Bro, the vibes were not. It was not the right time.
It wasn't the right time. It was like Battle in the Valley when David Finlay came out and like attacked. Like, people said, I'm not trying to hear this shit, man. Like, come on, man. I'm not trying to hear this. Yeah. It was, I don't know. I just feel like I'm really plotting. How do I get Shingo Takagi back in the world title picture by New Year's match?
How do I get Shingo versus Eddie again? Like, now. Just right now. Give it to me. I don't care about anything else.
You know what? Tony Khan will book it before Gato will.
He absolutely will. Bro, can we get Shingo just on a US excursion for like 2.5 weeks, whatever? Just let him have some bangers in AEW, bro. I don't care.
And I you know what? And it's so interesting that like when you look back at New Japan, Kenny Omega and Shingo Takagi just missed each other. So like Shingo came in like right when like Kenny was going out. So like they never really crossed paths. They've never really wrestled. And to me, I think that is the dream match. Like, I
Yeah.
think that is the dream match. Like,
I would go crazy.
it's on the same level as Osprey Okada. Like, Shingo and Kenny, like, especially if they're both 40 now and they're both idiots who always have something to prove. Like, oh my God. Like,
that should. We need to start campaigning now for that to be next year's Forbidden Door match.
Oh, absolutely.
Put the groundwork in.
Absolutely. Well, I will start tweeting to Tony Khan every other week like clockwork. So yeah, you know, Shingo versus Ishii, it was absolutely incredible.
Yes.
I knew it was going to be good. I will say, because this was one of the matches I was originally like about. And not because I thought it was going to be bad, but it was just like when I first saw the card, I was like, there's so many other first time matchups that we can see that we haven't seen before. But as always, they made me eat my words. This was beautiful. I just would love to. I just wish that it could have been a launching pad to like something bigger, because I feel like Shingo has been like making lemonade out of lemons all year. Yeah. They gave him the KOPW belt. He made it worth something. Ends up having one of the best matches of the year versus Aaron Hanare during WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah.
He literally, like, you know, he faced Nakajima this year, main evented the Rev Pro show. Like, he's been having these outstanding singles matches. Even him as a tag team right now is.
Didn't he have like a really great match against Okada like in February as well?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He has literally been doing everything you could possibly want out of a top guy, but for some reason, I understand like they're trying to get the youth movement over, but to be honest, only one of them is ready.
Yeah,
there's only one of them. Well, at least one of the Japanese ones is ready. I will say, like the foreign born, I think that Gabe Kidd and I think that Yota Tsuji are ready. I think that those two are the only ones that are like super ready to be the guy. So like, you know, hey, Shingo needs to hold that belt in front of fans, like while they can cheer. Yes. And I feel that. But moving on, we had the main event, the outstanding main event for the IWGP United Kingdom heavyweight title. Will Ospreay versus Zack Sabre Jr. This was special. Like, it was special. It literally it moved me to tears. I don't know why. Like. But I got so emotional watching this match. It was really, really, really special. Yeah.
Ospreay and Zack Sabre Jr., man. They really are just British wrestling. Like no matter how you feel about either guy, they are just what encompasses British wrestling as a whole in the modern day, and they fucking killed it, man. I need to rewatch both the semi-main and the main event, because at the moment I have Ishii Shingo a little bit higher personally, but like Zack and Will, they just killed it. Like, it was just it was so well paced as well, and like they had the audience invested in technical wrestling, which is difficult enough to do anyways.
Very difficult.
And I don't know, it was something special, and I'm honestly a little bit shocked that Ospreay retained here. Like, I really did think that ZSJ was going to pull it off, but I'm interested to see what happened.
My thing is, if he didn't lose to Zack Sabre Jr. at this point, who the hell is he going to lose to? Zack and Will made art in that ring for real. Absolutely. I like the match. So did I. I wish that we had Alex Windsor or Danny Luna on this card. Yeah. I will say, not having either of the New Japan women's titles on this match was a glaring, I feel like it was a glaring like error.
Omission.
Yeah, omission, that's the word. OMG, hi, I'm listening at work. Hello. But yeah, I think that this match was just incredible. And honestly, I do have it above Shingo versus Ishii. Maybe it's because like I watched it, because sometimes like there's a lot of stuff like when you're watching live, like you'll miss. Yeah. But I think this ranks as like one of my highest matches from either of them this year. Yeah. And that's saying a lot specifically for Ospreay, because like I think that his favorite matches, obviously the two Kenny matches, I would say the Naito in the G1.
Yeah.
And then you'll have which other ones I would say like are at that elite tier? And this one, I would say put this one and then
Yeah.
Sabre Jr. This in the Danielson match. I put this up pretty high. I think it's going to probably be my top 10 for the end of the year, which is saying a lot because I've changed my top 10 now like 14 million times.
Oh yeah, there's been a lot of good wrestling this year.
There's been a lot of great stuff. But this match was special, and I think for me, like I, as an American who was like recently like fallen in love with British wrestling, like these two were the names that like really like exposed me to that. Like Zack Sabre Jr. is the first British wrestler like I ever really got into like years ago, and like I always followed his career to a certain extent, and just seeing like how far that they've come, and I think they're both in the primes of their career, and they're both doing their best work right now. It's just really cool. Like it was just a really cool moment to see come full circle of just all like that there's still a UK scene here is like really a testament to their hard work, and like they're not just working New Japan shows, like they've been on the indies, they've been doing like the hard work and really getting people out of this into seats, and so this was just a really special moment.
Yeah. I loved it. I had a great time with this match. And my God, like this match flew by. Like it was like over 30 minutes and it flew by. But Ospreay chatting after, he's great. He don't half natter on man. He kept going and going and going. I was like, bro, we're at like half your match time right now. What are we doing?
Listen, Ospreay, whenever he's like in the UK, and he main events, he literally like he goes from like wrestler mode to just acting like he's just in the pub with friends. Like he just starts spilling his guts, his entire life story. Hey, do you want to know what my kid did in nursery school, mate? Like, like he just starts spilling his fucking guts. And it's so funny because like you gotta love the guy because you know he's in pain, but he's just rattling off. Zack Sabre Jr. doesn't even shake his hand, kisses him. Like I'm like, I love it here, guys. Like this is awesome. Then Shota Umino comes out.
Sure did.
And challenges Ospreay again for that IWGP belt.
Man, when Shota came out, because like Ospreay was doing the whole thing of like calling himself the best in the world and that, and then Shota came out in fucking Blackpool Combat Club merch, and I was like, is he gonna have a message from Brian? Is it finally happening? I got so excited.
He's only authorized to speak on behalf of one person. Of one person. I will say, like, that's also the thing. How do I say this? I think that Shota has a ton of potential. But I think some people were saying like Yota Tsuji got pushed to like the front of the line with all these title shots. Let's not forget, this is not Shota's first time challenging for the IWGP US belt. Like when he first came off of Excursion, he got a title shot at the it was the semi-main event for the historic crossover show. The only reason why I didn't main event is because obviously the IWGP Women's Championship tournament was culminating that night. And so Kairi and Mayu wrestled. But Shota's had a couple really big time, like, you know, spots. And I'm not saying that he like squandered them. Like he did good. He did good. But Yota Tsuji did great. And there's a difference between being a guy and the guy. But I'm excited to see, like, you know, how he shapes out, because like I said, I do think that there's a lot of potential there. So, hey, and also he announced that Jon Moxley is coming to wrestle Great-O-Khan.
Yeah. Listen, man.
It's like a Desperado Trent Seven situation. It's just like it's Jon Moxley in Japan. But what
that's happening the 4th of November, isn't it? That show.
The 4th of November. And then
Power Struggle?
Yes. And we're gonna get to that. And then Gabe Kidd comes out and starts beating Will Ospreay's ass.
Yeah, in the what am I trying to say? The post-match promo, the post-match comments. Listen, I feel some kind of way about these great wrestlers that I love being in matches that I they shouldn't be in. There's a whole lot of examples, but yeah, Gabe Kidd beat the shit out of Ospreay, which was very funny. Like I was sat in a hotel room with my friends after the show, and I saw it, and I was just like, "What the fuck?" That'll be sick. That's going to be a really great match. This is it a rematch or is it a match that's happening? I think it's probably a rematch. They've probably wrestled before.
Is it a Rev Pro rematch or is it a New Japan rematch?
I think it's a Rev Pro rematch.
Yeah.
And I think that they were meant to wrestle for the belt, the Rev Pro British heavyweight belt, before the pandemic, maybe. I might be getting my wires crossed. There's something there. There's history. I know that much. But I'm excited for this.
Just checking on cage match. I don't see anything for Gabe Kidd. So maybe they haven't wrestled.
Maybe they haven't wrestled there. Maybe it's a first time match. Interesting.
It's Gabe Kidd.
There is a picture.
Random nooks and crannies. He really do be popping up out of nowhere.
There is a picture of Gabe Kidd and Will Ospreay both sat on the floor in the ring. I've seen it. I've not made it up. I know they have history. But yeah, this is gonna be sick.
No, yeah. I think that especially when it comes to like putting like fresh stars over, I think that Gabriel Kidd is next up. And nobody is going to put him on the map quite like Will Ospreay is going to. And so
yeah,
you know,
I honestly think
I was going to say real quick, they were going to have the I don't think that they've wrestled before. I think that they came face to face. So like you said, like there was supposed to be a match but never happened. But
if Ospreay is leaving New Japan next year, which is saying without saying, we could be seeing him more in America, sort of thing. If he's leaving next year, I think that Gabe Kidd's going to be the guy he puts over.
Yeah.
I reckon that's who he's going to drop the belt to. Because did they announce when the match was going to happen?
They haven't announced it yet. But
so potentially Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
Which would be really fucking cool. 2 British wrestlers wrestling at Wrestle Kingdom.
That would be really cool, but you know, like
that'd be awesome.
I thought that, you know, I think that's also like prime time for Ospreay Omega 3.
I don't know, because I don't know whether they're going to do that for the belt. Because they've got
that
a win each with the belt.
I do think that they don't need the belt for the
third.
They don't need the belt for the third match. So
I think it wouldn't happen on the show. What is after Wrestle Kingdom? I know New Year's Dash is the day after. Isn't there another one?
There's the second Wrestle Kingdom show that they do. That's typically the Versus Noah. And then after that, they do the they have the first American show, which is, and that's going to be in January this year. So Battle at the Valley in the Valley is going to be in January this year. So they moved that up. So like it's right like a week and a half after Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, it's like the 24th of January or something.
So it's
like the 14th.
Boa, right around Boa.
Yeah. Maybe Ospreay drops to Gabe beforehand, and then Ospreay Omega 3 at Wrestle Kingdom before Ospreay skedaddles. Skedaddles is a great word. I could see that as well. I could see Gabe winning at the show where they have the finals of World Tag League. I can't remember what it's called. I know it's in December. You know what I mean?
I still think that honestly, especially if you have Gabe Kidd beat Ospreay, I think honestly at Wrestle Kingdom, I think you run Gabe Kidd versus Shibata if you can, because like they've been teasing that match for a long time. And Shibata, I hope that New Japan has forgiven him by now for like going rogue, but he's clearly good to wrestle now. Like
they're really nervous. New Japan have this thing about Shibata. They're really nervous to put him on a card. And I don't know whether they ever will at this point, if they'll ever put him on a card again. So that match could end up happening, like either at Rev Pro or like in AEW at this point. Like,
if there was ever a time to, like, he's as healthy as he's going to get. Like,
yeah,
at this point.
Absolutely.
And I will say, Tony's been really, I would say, sparing with him. Like he hasn't
Yeah.
been overdoing it at all. Like he's been,
No. He
yeah.
was in the UK for All In weekend, and he literally only wrestled on the Red Pro show. So
So there's a lots of possibilities there. This was a great show. I feel like, if you cut like 2 to 3 matches out of here, it's a damn near perfect card, to be quite honest. I do think like there was a little bit of filler here just to like get more people on the card, which is understandable. I'm really honestly excited for like the Rev Pro talent that got opportunities. Luke Jacobs, Robbie X, Leon Slater, Cameron Kai, Michael Oku. These are some great guys who I really think have really bright futures. And I think that some of them, if not all of them, New Japan should pick up. But like I think Luke Jacobs is a no-brainer. And honestly, Leon Slater needs to be in the best of the Super Juniors in the next year.
I feel like because of obviously Dan Maloney last year, he was in he faced Gabe Kidd, I'm pretty sure, at Royal Quest last year. And that was basically an audition for him. I'm really hoping this is a similar situation for Leon Slater and we get that best of the Super Juniors announcement next year. Because that could be something real special. I think Leon Slater is potentially the best wrestler in the world under 20 right now. Not including Joshi talent, because they're just in their own league.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you. I completely agree. And especially like seeing him in person, like, and don't get me wrong, I feel like a lot of the young talent on the indies, everybody's doing like crazy flippy shit and like to try to get noticed, and that's completely like understandable. But he's good, like he's really good, and like I feel like he even already has like some of the character stuff worked out. He knows who he is. He's like confident in his abilities. He's already had big matches with like established people, and he is not just kept up. Like he can prove that he can hang on their level. Like he just really at this point just needs an opportunity, and once he finds it, it's over. Like it's just a wrap.
Absolutely. Like I don't know, when AEW come back to the UK, when they do those Ring of Honor tapings, man, he's going to get a match against someone, I reckon. And, bro, we're going to lose Leon Slater in, like, the next 18 months to, like, America or Japan, man. Like, and honestly, I'm delighted for him. He deserves it so much. He's just been working his ass off for forever now, it feels like. I've been watching Leon Slater on the scene forever now, man.
I think also, unless like Rev Pro gets a TV deal, which also I will say, it doesn't feel sometimes like Rev Pro is an indie. The talent that they have is insane, and I think like they are it for the UK scene. I mean, of course, like there's progress, but
no comment.
Well, that was Royal Quest. Moving on. Super Junior Tag League kicks off this weekend. It's going to be some fun stuff. These are the first matchups have been released. We're going to see Bushi and Titan making his return from CMLL versus Sho and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. Boo! We're going to see Yo team up with Musashi. Obviously, Leo Rush, I think, is out with like injury or some health stuff. And so that's his typical partner. But Musashi comes from Michinoku Pro. I've never seen him wrestle, but I'm excited too. And they're going up against the War Dogs, the defending champions. And so this should be fun. Then we have DKC and Taguchi versus El Desperado and Master Wato. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited for half of this match.
Yeah.
How do I say this?
What we doing?
I feel like DKC is the only person from the LA Dojo that hasn't gotten the memo that like we're not doing the LA Dojo stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Like I still don't know what he stands for, what he's about, what he does, what his purpose is. And that's not really a knock. It's just more so of to say that we need to see what do you bring to the table. And I think especially with so many, not just so many, most of, if not all, of the other LA Dojo graduates, from Gabe Kidd, Alex Coughlin, Clark Connors, Kevin Knight. You have all these people who have really just blossomed, showed up, showed out, really been killing it lately, really have really hit their stride. And I still can't tell you what DKC's purpose is.
Mm-hmm.
Or if New Japan has any plans for him. Like he hasn't really stuck out in the tag division. He hasn't really stuck out as a singles wrestler. I'm not sure he's challenged for anything. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is his first time they're really sending him on a prolonged tour to Japan.
Yeah.
And so, hey, I'm hoping he shocks me. I'm hoping to be impressed. But the strong shows that I've seen and went to in person this year, I wasn't impressed. But El Desperado is going to be on this card, so that's going to be great.
He sure is. El Desperado.
Master Wato, they've been all year long. And so all these unlikely tag teams are forming after that wacky but excellent Seven series that went on with Suzuki and Strong Style versus Yuji Nagata, Shota, Big Wato. So this one should be interesting. We have the Intergalactic Jet Setters, Kushida and Kevin Knight versus Doki and Taka Michinoku. I actually think this one's going to be really good.
Yeah. It should be a lot of fun.
I think that the Jet Setters have been extremely good since they got back to Japan. Much better than they were like around before Best of the Super Juniors. I think working Impact this summer, I don't know what they did, but it worked. It did. Yeah. They came back better than ever. And that's both of them. I think Kushida's in his rhythm. I think Kevin Knight is so much more fluid in the ring. I think this is going to be good. So who are your early predictions to take it all? You can have three. Top three.
My top three. Well, I'm just going to list off my favorites.
Okay, cool.
Well, fuck, who else is in it? Let me look at the thing. So, I really like Catch 2-2. I think they're a fantastic tag team, and I thought they should have won last. Was I rooting for them last year? I might have been. Can't remember. But I think they have a real shot here. But TMDK, man, we got Robbie Eagles in there with Vegeta. Like, I'm real excited for that. And then, the Ichiban Sweet Boys. I'm very, very excited for that. And then, War Dogs, man. I wouldn't be shocked if they win it all. I really wouldn't.
I wouldn't be surprised if they win it all. My top three are War Dogs, Intergalactic Jet Setters, and TMDK, I would say.
Yeah.
But I do think that I wouldn't be surprised if El Desperado and Master Wato make a really I would not be surprised if they had a really deep run. Especially, I'm going to be honest, after Master Wato ended up winning the Best of Super Juniors tournament, after none of us had him on our radar, anything can happen, at this point.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. So I'm excited. I think that it's going to be a really good kickoff this weekend. And also, this is going to be a fairly speedy tournament. It only goes until the last night of everything that goes to November 2nd. So it's not going to be too long, but should be fun.
That feels it's a real quick turnaround this year.
Very quick turnaround. Yeah. Very quick turnaround. And so that schedule is probably going to be extremely dense, just like all the other tournament schedules are. Robbie Eagles and Kosei Fujita. Listen, I'm excited for this.
I'm so excited to see Fujita in several matches.
I'm so excited for them. And
they've been killing it in Australia from what I've seen, though. Like, they've had a really good tour over there.
That isn't a quick turnaround for New Japan tournaments. They must listen, because the thing is, they have to hurry up and get Junior Tag League over because you have to do World
Tag League as well.
Which is going to be a much bigger field most likely.
Yeah, they've got World Tag League. If you follow the Unpurist account, you know one of the teams that are going to be there. Listen, man, it's going to be a good tournament.
I'm literally so excited for World Tag League. I think I might actually even pull out like a little bracket for that one. Like,
oh yeah, we got to do our bracket breakdowns again.
Gotta go bracket breakdowns. Like, World Tag League is going to be really good. I will say, Super Junior Tag League, I do like the lineup, but I do feel like there could have been more like outside influence. I think that the Rascals over at Impact would have been a really great addition here, and I think that East West Express, Jordan Oliver and Nick Wayne would have been really good here, but Nick Wayne is really involved in a whole bunch of stuff at AEW right now. He wouldn't have been away.
There's a few tag teams I would have liked to see in the Super Junior Tag League, but it falls at a weird time for a lot of like American companies because they've got their like last big shows of the year like coming up that they're building to. Like Impact's got Bound for Glory, they've got their UK tour happening during this. Obviously AEW's got Full Gear in November. Like there's a lot going on with those companies that they can't really warrant sending over the talent for this one.
Exactly.
But hopefully for Best of the Super Juniors, we can see some guys in that instead. So
yeah, like they killed it. What is it? All-Star Junior Festival.
Yeah.
It was Nick Wayne and Jordan Oliver versus El Desperado and Mal, which was
inspired booking. It
was just the best. Like I love that tag match. They've recently just put All-Star Junior Fest on New Japan World, so I think I'm just gonna go back and rewatch the whole show. But like that tag match was absolutely beautiful. Both of those guys, all four of those guys, I want to see in Best of the Super Juniors next year. It's time for Mal.
I want to see Despy in the fucking G1. Sorry, let's get him in the fucking heavyweight.
There's no way that he's not
a junior anymore. Let's be so fucking real
this is starting to feel like Shingo in 2019. Like, let's be fucking real. He's not a junior, guys. But Super Junior Tag League should be a lot of fun. Make sure that you tune in this weekend when it kicks off, starting with wait, what is it? Which day of the week?
October 21st.
Yes, the 21st.
Yeah.
So that's
just quickly. Someone in chat said Grizzled Young Veterans should be in World Tag Team League. Yes, I would love to see GYV make like their debut in New Japan. I want to say. Don't hold me to that. I can't remember off the top of my head. That would be fucking sick if they showed up for World Tag League.
Oh yeah.
Right. World Tag League. I want to see War Dogs. Obviously, Gabe Kidd, Alex Coughlin, Grizzled Young Veterans. Who else? Yota Tsuji and Shingo.
Listen, I know that this is a real stretch now, and I understand this is a real stretch now, especially since Nakajima is leaving Noah. But like, for the love of God, can we please get Axis and World Tag League? Like, I just think that this is the perfect time. Listen, like they can go their separate way, but it just can't end like this. It really cannot end. It just cannot end like this. I don't think that they've ever. I'm looking at Grizzled Young Vets. I don't think they've ever worked New Japan. They've done Progress, obviously, but like they've never done New Japan. So this will be a great.
Alex Zane and Lance Archer too. I miss Monster Sauce, bro. I love them so much. They've got a match in Vegas, haven't they? Who are they facing?
Yes, yes, we're about to get to that actually.
Cool, sick.
They're gonna be great. Who else did I want to, like I said, I want the Axis and World Tag League really bad. Honestly, if you don't have anything for Claudio and Yuta to do like anytime soon, throw them in there. Like, if you don't have anything for them to do, like really post Full Gear or anything, like throw them in.
Yeah.
You know, like
I won't say no.
Trying to think of anybody else. The tag division in AEW right now is a little.
Well, we know that I won't give away the scoop of who it actually is, but we know that AEW is sending someone, so
yeah, I'm trying to think of who else. The Bucks have done it before; they're never going to do it again. But
absolutely not. That should have sailed. Absolutely not.
But
God bless them. Love them to pieces. But
they've done more than enough Japan tournaments, honestly, for a lifetime. Like,
I'm sad that Davis's injury means that we're definitely not getting Aussie Open into this year. I don't reckon. I know. Yet another World Tag League they have to miss. I'm fucking gutted for him, man. But I am happy for Kyle that he's getting this singles push or whatever.
Literally,
but
banger after banger with Bryan Danielson and Omega. I appreciate them for like really prioritizing him during that time. During this time, yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else that I would want in Tag League. There's really nobody from Impact that I would want. Just because Motor City Machine Guns, they've been there, they've done that.
I would still love to see him do it again. Bro, give me Eddie and Ishii. That's the one that I keep talking about. I want Eddie and Ishii.
Oh my god, that would be incredible. That would be awesome. He just has the only problem is that Eddie would have to drop at least one of those belts. He has too much. But I'm gonna be honest, like respectfully, they don't give a fuck about Ring of Honor right now. That one can go past. And honestly, to be fair, after Lone Star Shootout, there's no more New Japan Strong shows for the rest of the year. So, he may.
Amen.
Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz. They would. So if they competed, they would have to be in Super Junior Tag League. They're both like juniors, cruiserweights type. Aussie Open is cursed this year. It's really crazy too because it's just like whenever they're here, they just keep winning. Like they've technically had such like a 50-50 year. Like they've won 3 sets of major titles this year.
Yep.
But at the same time, like Mark Davis has been injured twice this year.
Yeah. Like it's crazy because Carl's the one that keeps throwing himself into fucking barricades. And Davis has got injured twice off of like seemingly like innocuous moves. Like
at Capital Collision, that was when they actually won the Strong back versus Tanahashi and Okada, and then versus Motor City Machine Guns. I literally watched Kyle Fletcher with my own eyes almost castrate himself by accident.
Bro, I saw he reposted the guy that was like sat right there that was filming. It was nuts. I don't know how that man is alive. God bless Kyle Fletcher.
I will say that's one of those bumps this year that I'm like, there's no fucking way that you weren't injured after that. And the only other one that I can say is worse than that I was also shocked about was when Kenny did that V-trigger through the cage and managed to survive. And he just
horrifying
off. Like I'm not gonna lie, I think that was one of the worst moments I've ever had in wrestling. Just because like when he did it, I said, "Fuck, he's gonna be out for like a year."
And then he just kept wrestling. I was like, "Bro, what are you doing?"
And then he just gets up, and I'm just like, "I'm gonna stand this man for the rest of my life."
Yeah.
But moving on, what's next? We have Fighting Spirit Unleashed in 9 days. And this is one hell of a card. They've announced some pre-show matches too, but I'm gonna be honest, those didn't matter enough to put on the graphic.
Real quick about those pre-show matches though. Shout out Titus Alexander. That's my boy. And he's making his New Japan debut. Very excited for him.
He is really great. He's been killing it lately. He's the one he holds that West Coast Pro title, right?
He held it up until like the other day. He just dropped his Starboy Charlie.
Gotcha. What?
Did you not know this? Yeah, West Coast Pro. I'm pretty sure he just dropped it.
He dropped the Charlie?
Yeah, he dropped the Charlie.
Oh, that wouldn't have been my choice. Nothing's wrong with Charlie, by the way. Nothing's wrong with Charlie, by the way. I thought he was going to drop to like somebody else, but it's okay. It's okay. Great run.
Your reaction to that was incredible. What?
We had Julia versus Hyan. I think Hyan.
Real. Hyan's fucking sick. I've seen her wrestle live a couple of times this year.
Yeah, I saw her at the Rev Pro 11th anniversary. She was absolutely incredible. She's incredible every time she shows up. Like Athena said that she's one person that she wants to wrestle like for an extended amount of time. Julia's going to be back in the States, so it's a good chance that Monet shows up after. Actually, it's a huge chance. Out of all of the shows that Mercedes has been rumored to show up at, to be quite honest, this is probably the one where she most likely is definitely there. I will say, I didn't even have any faith she was going to show up to All In, and then boom, she was on the camera. And I was just saying, we have Eddie Kingston versus Hanare running it back from the G1. This is going to be sick.
Yeah, I'm real excited for that rematch.
And also, I will say, shout out to New Japan for, on these American shows, if you're going to have this many titles, let them do what they're supposed to do. Like, I'm really glad that the IWGP titles are not being defended on this card. Like, the New Japan Strong titles feel like the top belts, right? Like the way that they've positioned it, the top belts in America, as they should. And so this is going to be sick. Tom Lawler versus Gabe Kidd is going to be nuts.
It's going to be incredibly funny. It's just going to be such a funny match. Like, I don't know. I saw Tom Lawler wrestle live this year. I can't remember who I watched him wrestle. It was probably Luke Jacobs now that I think about it. But yeah, I don't know. Just that match on paper is so fucking funny to me. I can't wait.
I saw him do the dark match versus Serpentico. Because
we were there for that.
Yeah, because Adam Cole was sick.
Yeah.
There's a chance that Hanare wins. Do you think he's gonna win? Do you think Eddie drops the belt?
No, I don't think Hanare wins here.
Do you think that Eddie takes the belt to Wrestle Kingdom?
Yes. They absolutely will want Eddie on that card.
I agree. I
reckon there could be like a fatal 4-way on that show or something.
A multi-man match would make sense. Then we have ELP and Hikuleo, the Strong Tag Team Champions, are defending against Alex Zane and Lance Archer.
Yes.
So
I remember now. I remember how this was set up because they sent the package to ELP and Hikuleo. I'm with it. I remember.
So that one's going to be cool. We have Tama Tonga versus Shingo for the Never Openweight Championship. Listen, man, I don't know how I feel about this. I think the match is going to be good. But like I said earlier, for at least a solid 20 minutes, Shingo needs to be in the world title picture.
I wouldn't have Shingo lose here, but also, do they take the belt off Tama already?
They took the belt off David Finlay already.
True. To be fair, they hot potato it.
At this point, respectfully, almost all of the New Japan titles have been pretty hot potato this year.
Yeah. They've been bounced around a lot.
They're either not hot potato or barely defended at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know that they're trying to reestablish the Never Openweight title as the bad BMF title, which I think is fair. Because, like, if you're going to have that many titles, each title needs to have a role.
Yeah.
Never Openweight title used to be known as the title for the killers, the hard hitters, the Shibatas, the Ishiis. And so I think both of these guys fit this bill, like especially Shingo. I just am interested, like, what the hell is he gonna do for Wrestle Kingdom? Because I want a Shingo singles match. I'm sorry, and so we'll see how this shapes up. Next, we have a number one contenders tag match for the Strong Openweight Championship. Wait, is this a 4-way or a tag match? No, it's a 4-way. It's a 4-way. It's not a tag match. So it's a 4-way. Satoshi Kojima, Fred Rosser, Alex Coughlin, and Jeff Cobb.
Would they run 2 United Empire matches? Probably. I reckon Jeff Cobb's probably winning that.
Yeah, I agree. Especially, he's had a really strong year, and I think that
if
they weren't going to put him over in G1, I feel like him challenging for that Strong championship is right up his league. And I think that he could
probably a power struggle, to be honest.
Yeah, he could be a really good person to take the belt off Eddie too.
At
some point. I also would like to give a shout out to Satoshi Kojima for like being just like fucking incredible this year.
My guy, one of my favorite Twitter mutuals.
Everywhere,
man,
living it up. He won the fucking Royal Road tournament at All Japan this year for shits and giggles. Cause why not? Yeah, I'm just gonna do like a full-fledged tournament at my 50s.
Yep.
Cause why not?
And
he's still a damn good wrestler. Like him and Minoru Suzuki have just been doing side quests all year. And
it's like Murder Grandpa, and just grandpa.
Bled grandpa.
Like,
Bled
yeah,
grandpa.
two opposite ends of the spectrum.
You got fucking Jericho showing up literally everywhere. Ref Pro, PWG, like Sting showing up on Indies this year. We're gonna talk about Sting later, sadly. But yeah, shout out to all the grandpas in wrestling. This has been like probably one of the best years in history for over 45-year-old wrestlers.
Yeah.
Next we have, this card is heavily influenced with Lucha because CMLL is partnering with New Japan for this show in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Atlantis, Hiroshi Tanahashi, Mystico, Atlantis Jr. versus Rocky Romero, Soberano Jr., Tiger Mask, and Adrian Quest. I'm excited. CMLL's obviously been talked about quite a bit recently. We're going to get to that soon too. But this is going to be a great time. Mystico and Hiroshi Tanahashi teaming up is going to be kind of crazy. Kind of cool. We have a tag match. This is a more so of a preview for Wrestle Kingdom. Yeah, Sonata and Yuya Uemura versus Tetsuya Naito and Hiromu Takahashi. This is going to be very telling. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't really seen Yuya wrestle.
No, me neither.
And so I haven't made any judgments because I genuinely don't know. But I will be making judgments after this match. And so I hope to be impressed because, like I said, the guys who have recently come off Excursion, most of them have really hit their stride. They know who they are. They know what they're doing. Yeah. They've really been killing it. And so Yuya is the last one out who's back. And so he has a lot to prove, especially because, like I said, everybody's been so outstanding. Obviously, he just joined Just Five Guys. Yeah. So yeah, I really hope that he impresses. Like, I really, really hope that he impresses. So yeah. And lastly, we have a tag match from CMLL with the Luchadoras. We have Luvia, Johnny Robbie, Stephanie Baker, and Zeus.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to pronounce it either.
I don't know, but I think this match is probably going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I did think that Stephanie was going to be Julia's opponent, but obviously not. But I mean, there's still more time than ever to run that match. And there's also more time than ever now to run other matches, especially with AEW, possibly like long-term with CMLL. So there's a lot of crossover there. And then, of course, November 4th, we are heading into Power Struggle, which will also be the finals of the Super Junior Tag League.
Yeah.
So far, 5 matches have been announced. We have Shota Umino versus Will Ospreay for the IWGP US UK Heavyweight Championship. We have Great Khan versus John Moxley.
Yeah.
We have
just right. No, because you look at like the free graphics of like Shota and Ospreay and Hiromu and Ishimori, and then like the 6-man, and they're all fucking sick. And then you see John Moxley on the side, which is sick.
This shit don't even look right, man.
And then you see who John Moxley's facing, and it's like, all right, whatever. And then you have David Finlay versus Tangaloa. What the fuck are we doing?
I will say, when we got to, I want to say right around the 6th or 7th month of the year, I was ready to call it. Like, I was saying bye in a way. I said, New Japan might be promotion of the year, Gato's Booker of the year. Like, because I will say, anybody who's a real AEW fan, up until that point, things were off, and you can tell they were off. That was especially before that. That was also before like that big pay-per-view run really started.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like, okay, New Japan might really got it. They've been hitting on all cylinders. I don't know what happened. Like,
we lost the plot.
The tide changed like TK started booking his ass off, and then all of a sudden the G1 happened, and it was boo boo. And it was just like insane, and things have shifted. I'm not saying New Japan is bad. Obviously, there's been a lot of great shows lately, but the inspired booking that we saw at the beginning of the year,
yeah,
haven't seen it much.
Why are Gorillas of Destiny still feuding with Bullet Club? Like, we are April, May, June, July, August, September, October. We are 6 months removed from ELP getting kicked out of the fucking Bullet Club. What are we doing?
Y'all, we gotta let this go.
Come on, Matt. We do not need the only person in Bullet Club that he should have any beef with right now. Now that like it's all like he's done all the shit with Finley and that is Ishimori because he's just come back.
That's it.
That's the only. And obviously they'll probably revisit Kenta at some point, but
and even Ishimori has moved on.
Yes,
he's moved on.
I'm baffled. I'm just genuinely baffled why we're still here. Like,
and yes, we are still here. There is a really fun, exciting match. The returning Taiji Ishimori will be facing Hiromu Takahashi for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. That one is going to be great. Ishimori still has
got to pay for his crimes.
I will say, Ishimori was the final knife in the coffin. Ishimori was really the final knife in the coffin.
The streets have not forgotten.
El Phantasmo got his lick back with David Finlay. He got his lick back on Kenta. He got his lick back with Gato. The only person that he hasn't really gotten revenge from is Taiji Ishimori. And so, but it's going to be difficult because it's like, it's clear that Taiji Ishimori wants to get back into that junior heavyweight title picture. El Phantasmo is a heavyweight now. But who knows? Nothing. I keep expecting wrestling to make sense.
They are absolutely going to book it for like Battle in the Valley or something.
Yeah. So, and it's going to be a great match. Those two, they kill it every time.
Yeah.
But that's right now the match on the card that I'm probably anticipating the most. I do think, though, that 6-man match is going to be awesome. So we have
Ishii getting in with Shane Hayes and Mikey Nichols after their G1 performances. Yes.
Listen, you have the current never 6-man open weight champions. Shout out to them, by the way. I will say those are 3 guys who can be in the main event spot, but this year they really took a backseat and have mostly like multi-man setups, and they have really taken it in stride. And I will say they've been involved in some of my favorite 6-man matches this year. Who would have known that Kazuchika Okada was a multi-man specialist?
Honestly, he's been thriving. That Blackpool Combat Club match from earlier this year.
The Resurgence match, the Dominion match, and the All Together Again match were 3 of the best 6-man tags I've ever seen. Like, they killed it. They've been so good.
I need the elite match, bro. I don't care that they're friends with Okada. Just give me the fucking match.
Okada can't wrestle them because how is he going to wear Nick Jackson's gear?
Honestly, oh, bro, come on.
But I would literally love that match. And they're going up against TMDK, Zack Sabre Jr., Mad Mikey Nichols, hysterical Shane Hayes. These 3 have honestly exceeded all expectations this year in everything that they've done. They've killed every single thing that they've done. If TMDK actually ends up winning World Tag League, I will not be upset about it because they honestly should have won those belts against Bishamon. But like I said, the inspired booking phase is over. There wasn't a graphic for this yet, but there was another match that has been announced. There's going to be a tag match, Tetsuya Naito and Yota Tsuji versus Sanada and Yuya, which I think is going to be very interesting because this is going to be Yuya's first time in the ring against, one of the Musketeers since he's returned from Excursion. So this is going to be very telling.
Yes.
It's going to be very interesting stuff. But that's where we are in New Japan. So lots of cool stuff happening on the road to Wrestle Kingdom. We're still waiting on the World Tag League lineup, but it should probably be coming out soon. Probably going to come out around Power Struggle, honestly. So we have a lot of fun happening there. Moving on. Oh, there's somebody else who's been added to the Stardom injury reserve.
Oh man,
There's more. So Azumi was added. So now we have 6 injured people.
that's
6
nuts.
injured top girls in this promotion who are now out with injury. So we have Starlight Kid, Azumi, Nats Boy, Utami Hayashishita, Tam Nakano, the world champion, by the way, and Saya Kamatani. So yeah, everybody's injured because Stardom just said we don't need breaks.
Their schedule, bro. I feel like there's always a Stardom show on.
When Mariah May said that she had only been in Stardom for 9 months and had already wrestled 99 matches.
Yeah, that's
what?
Nuts.
What?
Bro, like, come on, man. Like, didn't they go straight from the 5-star into like the tag league?
Yes, and they're going straight from the tag league into the Triangle Derby, which is the
Triangle Derby, yeah.
Which is so like they literally go from tournament to tournament to tournament with house shows in between, and also like the way their 5-star Grand Prix is set up, it's like set up exactly like the G1 while still having big shows in between, and so they are defending titles in between, having matches in between, doing house shows, all that shit. Like they're literally, people are like, I'm gonna give everyone to Stardom one of my limbs. I'll sell my kid. Mm-hmm. Y'all don't have enough limbs to go around. You don't because there's too many of them.
There needs to be an overhaul, man. Like, bro, this is excessive.
Especially with the presentation that happened last week with like New Japan and Stardom. Stardom is bringing in crazy money. It's not like they're broke. Mm-hmm. Like it's not like they're broke. Like give the girls a break, because I think that you're going to lose them to some places who are willing to be more flexible. But yeah, that's where we are with Stardom. Just wanted to check in and give the injury update for the calendar, because people just keep getting at it because we just don't stop giving a fuck, but no, seriously, I need everybody to get well soon. I plan to be in the building for Dream Queendom on December 29th, and so I need everybody to be on their P's and Q's. Thanks. Moving on, in AEW news, I did not put everything from Dynamite on here. I just put up the important stuff here, okay? And these are the things that I think that are most important. Number 1, Mystico versus Rocky Romero, which means that there's possibly a work.
Happy birthday to me.
You deserve this.
That's happening on my birthday. Well, I know it's already happened, but it's airing on my birthday.
I heard it was awesome too.
I've seen it. Like one of the spoiler-free reviews I saw was just like they had a CMLL match, and I was just like, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I heard like they even had like a CMLL ref come in too. Like,
yeah, they had all the bells and whistles from what I've heard.
So that's number 1. Number 2 is Chris Statlander versus Willow Nightingale.
This match is real interesting to me because I've heard some things about Willow's booking. And this is real interesting to see which way they go with this.
I'm interested too, because honestly, if Willow loses this, she will now have lost, I think, 5 challenges in a row for the TBS championship.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that was obviously to protect Jade at first, but I don't see like her losing this match without going like full heel afterwards.
Yeah,
that's like the only way that I could see like that happening. And I will say, like, at this point, like, Stat has had a pretty healthy reign. Like, if she loses it to Willow, of all people, I don't think like she's
I wouldn't be mad at all.
Yeah, she would. I wouldn't be mad at all. For her, she got the belt. What was that? Like last week of May, and
it was Double or Nothing.
And she's literally been killing it in every single defense.
Yeah.
Wow, it's going to be. Somebody said it's going to be her 14th defense. Damn.
Wow. Where the fuck is she pulling all these defenses from?
Seriously, she's worked all the house shows. She's worked pages. She's worked collisions. She's been
She's the workhorse champ. Shout out best friends, bro.
She's been the female of Orange Cassidy, which she said that she wanted to be like when she got that belt, and she's really succeeded.
Real quick, someone has said in chat, I had Mystico versus Rocky match move tickets when it was announced. That after that match was announced, they sold like I think it ended up being an extra like 1,200 tickets to the show.
It sure did. And somebody tried to say it's not because of Mexico. It's because they lowered the prices. Boo hoo. They were in Texas.
Bro.
Texas is
Yeah.
literally Diet Mexico. And so when they announced that CMLL talent, especially Mystico, is going to be at an AEW show, yeah, people moved.
Why do you think it was announced like so far in advance and they didn't just announce it on Wednesday? Like, bro, they wanted people in the building for that, and it paid off because it looked fucking great on Dynamite.
Like, when have you ever seen AEW go this?
I heard it was 2,100 from Meltzer. Oh, I might have got the numbers backwards then because that also sounds right.
Like, literally, when have you ever seen AEW go that hard to promote a Rampage match? Like, they wanted you to know that this was important. And we were even talking last night in like the Discord, and I like was saying that I didn't say that. Somebody else said this, I forgot. But they were saying that AEW, if they're smart, they would really invest in like the Hispanic fan base. Especially if you look at those Texas shows at AEW, there's a lot of Hispanic fans.
Yeah, they do.
Love AEW and love like the lucha stuff. Like, think about the pop that Penta got at Dynamite this week. There's a huge market of fans like that. I think that they can really, 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 really tap into, especially the more that they're leaning into Lucha Libre, which they've leaned heavily into this year. I think there's a lot of opportunities there. And also, and I tweeted this, I think that CMLL is just a much better fit as a partner, I think, for AEW.
I agree.
And I think they can do a lot more together. And I think that if they do like a combo show in Texas, I think that they pack out the house. Like,
absolutely. It would be nuts.
They're gonna pack out the house. And also like the literal thought of AEW running Arena Mexico is nuts, because
that'd be so special.
Like, giving us a reason to like use our passports.
I would be there no matter.
I would 100% be there. Just like, give me a reason to use my passport. Like, that's how I feel about any AEW international show at this point. Like, I mean,
they're all international for me, but
just like, I want to see it. Somebody said, I'm surprised CMLL is with MLW. They would do better at AEW. They can technically do both.
They can do both. Yeah,
they can do both.
I need the CMLL partnership because I want Brian to face Blue Panther so bad. I'm desperate for this match.
And also, I think like put Stephanie in that women's division, man. Like,
yeah.
I do think the women's division actually lacks that. There's not a lot of people who know how to actually really truly work the lucha style, and so like having people like come more regularly for people to like get more well versed in that, I think is going to be really helpful for that roster.
Yeah.
And also I think it's cool. Like CMLL. Just it opens up a new wave of possibilities now for just about everybody, and it makes that New Japan relationship even stronger. Just like y'all can all do stuff together now. Like we can technically
Forbidden Door could be nuts.
We can add Lucha to Forbidden Door now. Like
stuff would be so cool. That'd be sick.
The best of America versus the best of Japan versus the best of Mexico. Like, there's so many possibilities. Like, you can do tournaments heading into it. Like, there's just so many more possibilities now that just really didn't exist with AAA, because AAA, it's a lot about AAA. It's a lot. Somebody said Stephanie versus Chris Statlander. There would be something. Yes, it would. Yes, it would. Yes.
Need it. Absolutely.
So that's happening, and then of course, honestly, the MJF part is not even the part that I care about. The part that I care about is Kenny Omega said that he's ready to remind y'all who the fuck that he is.
He remembered there's a world title. God fucking bless.
When he said the words AEW Heavyweight Champion, I started barking. I was in my home barking. Like
Oh,
it's nothing
bro.
like Kenny Omega turned 40 this year, and he said, "Listen, I'm not wasting no more time. I'm getting rid of Don
Mm-mm.
Callis. I'm getting rid of all of y'all, and then I'm coming back for my world championship." And that's all I needed to hear. Listen,
Yep.
guys, I'm actually been sick of this MJF title reign, but I especially am now because
I have thoughts. A whole
I've
lot of
been getting
them.
really sad. I've been getting really upset lately because it seems like MJF is just going to break Kenny's record, and we're just going to go on and erase him like he never happened on November 1st. And then Kenny said, rest, my children. I got something for that. I
Oh,
13 days my ass. Listen, I know that they've already announced the main event for Full Gear. Fuck that. I'm sorry, y'all. I do not want Kenny to put this man over. And I typically am just all for new people getting opportunities. And I am. And I am. I don't care if Kenny holds that belt for 3 months before dropping it to Swerve. I really don't. As long as it comes off of MJF, and 2, Kenny gets to hold that belt multiple times. I don't give a fuck how it happens.
yeah, they've both been announced for the October 28th collision now.
Listen,
So
guys.
it's only a matter of time, bro.
Listen, you can say whatever y'all want. I don't care. Ever since Adam Cole went down, all this shit is going downhill. This
Mm-hmm.
shit is going downhill.
I have a lot of thoughts regarding all of this. I should probably write about it. It's real long-winded.
Please. Share as much as you want.
Yeah, it's like I had actually fallen a little bit out of love with the MJF Adam Cole storyline. I feel like I was really on board with them like extending it and like it going past all in and all that. And then it got to the point I was like, they've lost the plot a little bit. We've like lost the original point of this. So I was like ready for it to wrap up. Obviously, it's really unfortunate that Adam Cole got injured.
Definitely.
But I have a real strong feeling that Adam Cole was winning that belt. And I'm not really infused about it. I love Adam Cole. I think he's great. Do I want to see him as world champion right now? No. I didn't really like but I actually think like regardless of like the first couple of promos, I think this story with MJF and Jay White has been really inspired and really fucking cool. I just wish that we didn't have the Acclaimed stuff happening in the sideline because it feels like they're using that as a sub in for Adam Cole.
That's exactly.
And it's like I don't need the jokey part of his reign because the best parts of his reigns were always when he was dead serious about shit and not just like going for low hanging fruit and like chatting like bollocks and all that sort of shit. Like even with like when he was with Adam Cole and they were like doing the vignettes and that, like the best part of their build to All In were always the more serious parts of their promos to me, anyways. So I don't know. Am I necessarily like I wouldn't be like? Don't get me wrong. If Kenny beats him, if Jay beats him in the next couple of months, I'd be absolutely ecstatic. But I'm not like as over his reign as people probably think that I am at this point. I'm still kind of like, yeah, I'm not bothered that you're champion. That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, I can't agree. I think it's also because like how many times like if we had this conversation over the past year and it's constantly
absolutely.
It's always been like going back and forth and it's just like you've held this belt for almost a year and like we still don't know how to feel about you. Like it's just I feel like we've given everybody, the company included, everybody's given MJF a lot of grace. He's got a lot of tools, everything that he could possibly get to get over. Like, when he wasn't getting over by himself, they paired him with somebody. He gets the funny, vignettes. Like, he gets Samoa Joe to put him over. Like, every single thing that you can possibly do to, like, get somebody over, they've done for MJF. And yet, he never seems to be able to sustain the momentum. And that is to the point. And I think, especially now, like, and it's not even that MJF is so bad by himself. What's the problem is with the roster that AEW has and like the fact that all the other top guys are so good and they're only getting better, he just looks mediocre in comparison. If he was on any other roster, I don't think that anybody would really have a problem with him being world champion right now.
Yeah.
But when you have like at least right now, there are at least 4 guys who are ready to be world champion like right now. And if you put that belt on them tomorrow, you have Jay White, you have Swerve, you have Samoa Joe who's smelling around, you have, Kenny Omega, you have Bryan Danielson, you have like guys who are ready, who have put in like, so much work into the company, who do show up on TV every week, talk, who do wrestle, who didn't take, months and months to get over. It's just hard to justify, in my opinion now, especially like, because Max does the same thing. You'll get a promo from him. It's the same thing. Then somebody yells at him on the internet. He'll change it. And then everybody's like, oh yeah, keep doing that. And then the next week he'll go back to that hokey bullshit. Yeah. And we just literally keep repeating cycle. And honestly, I feel like for MJF to stay over as a face, we need to see him on the chase. Like, you can't really be like a generational baby face by literally being handed everything. You stole a championship, essentially. Like, you've held on to it since. Then you had your friends looking out for you. You had your mentors looking out for you. You've always had like somebody looking out for you. For him to get over, we need to see him on the chase. And I think that's why people are like so endeared to somebody like Hangman. Like, we've literally seen him fall to like his lowest and then get rebuilt back up. We've never really seen that with MJF. And I think like he still has too many character arcs that he needs to explore before I realistically believe that he is the guy.
Yeah. I see it. I get it. Yeah. I feel like I change my mind on Max all the fucking time.
Same.
And I don't know whether it's like the prospect of getting this Kenny match that's got me like, well, it can stay champ for a little bit longer. Like, I don't know. But, I just, please, for the love of God, whoever he drops it to, make a star. Put it on Swerve, bro. Like, if you're not putting it on Jay White, put it on Swerve.
And also, I think that's also the thing, too, of just, when it comes to making stars, like, a lot of times, like, I feel like MJF, he is very protected. He hasn't really lost to a lot of people. And he hasn't really lost to anybody that's not, like, a major top guy. He hasn't really lost to anybody that and really pushed them to like superstardom. Like, he hasn't really put anybody over. And like, honestly, based on like the past, I'm not sure if he's going to put anybody over. But I do know that if they put that belt on Kenny will put anybody over. Like, and that's also the kind of the thing too of just like, if he's not willing to make new stars, there's plenty of people who are. And my thing is, I don't feel like you're a real top guy until you can lose and lose nothing.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I do
over and not lose anything.
Yeah, I honestly, I think he could be losing that match to Juice next week. Like, obviously, I reckon there'll be interference or whatever, but I reckon he's losing that Dynamite Diamond ring.
I think so too. Like, there's no reason to have him like. There's no reason to have him keep that ring for 5 years.
Yeah.
So moving on to the last part.
Oh man.
So the Stinger has announced that his last rodeo will be Revolution 2024. Obviously nobody's particularly shocked. And honestly, I really just felt so much gratitude. Like, I just felt so much gratitude when he said all this, just because, like, I would have hated if the last time we saw Sting was that bullshit in WWE. Like, I would have hated if that was Sting's last hurrah. Like, WWE just didn't do his retirement right. I have no problem saying that. And obviously Sting also has no problem saying that. And I will say, like, I feel like WWE used him to try to get one last dunk on WCW. They never even gave people the match that they actually fucking wanted, which was Sting versus Undertaker. Why the fuck was Sting losing to Triple H? Like, it was a vanity project. It was 100% a vanity project, and I'm not happy with how that happened. So I'm really happy that he has resurrected his career in AEW, and what a run it's been, man. Like, he's done so much. I've seen him wrestle like 4 times this year.
Wow. I've seen All In, Forbidden Door. Was he at Revolution? I can't remember if he was. I don't think he was.
I saw him at Full Gear last year. And so,
right, there you go.
Versus Jeff Jarrett. Which was,
my God, I can't escape him. I'm not talking about Jeff Jarrett.
My TNA, like, childlike heart would just. I saw Steve, like, what did he jump from the rafters or some shit? Like,
yeah, probably.
A couple sections from me, like, but it's just been really awesome to see him go out on his terms. And one thing, you can say whatever you want about AEW, but one thing when it comes to legends, they're typically pretty good about that. And I know that they're going to send off well.
I will be there.
I think the most interesting question heading into it now that we have a time is what is going to be the location. I'm interested to see what the venue is, which city that they select, the size of the venue that they select. Because to be quite honest, this could be essentially the American equivalent of that Great Muta last show that we saw earlier this year, which was held in the Tokyo Dome. And I think what did they have? They had like over 30,000 in attendance. And so Sting has touched hearts and lives all over the world. So it's going to be interesting. Listen, I don't know what kind of financial sins that I'm going to have to commit to be in the room, but I will be there.
I will be there no matter what. I'm really glad that Tony Khan, this was like pretty inspired of them to actually announce this so far in advance, because like you just said, people are going to be flying in from everywhere for this. So I think next week will probably be actually potentially the announcement of where Revolution's going to be, so people can start getting their travel plans in place. I don't have a whole lot to say about this because I do need to get out of here in a sec, but man, what a run it's been for Sting.
It's going to be a great time, these last couple matches. But yeah, that's it. We've reviewed all the things. We've talked about all the things. Stay tuned for next week. Of course, I'll be talking about the fallout from those great matches from Bound for Glory. Obviously, we have Speedball versus Ospreay, Trinity versus Mickie James. Some really good stuff happening. A lot of wrestling going on, but it's all good stuff. So super exciting. Thanks, Charlie,
thank you for having me.
And happy early birthday. Everybody tell Charlie happy birthday in the chat before she leaves and heads out. So
guys. Always happy to come on.
But until next time, talk to you later, everybody. Bye.
Peace.